today's guest numbers are like this: $48 million in closed volume for 2018, and that's on 41 closed transactions. That's definitely Rockstar status. His name is Dave Robles. Dave, thanks for having this conversation with us today.
Thanks for having me, Andy. It's always good to chat with you, man.
I'm so happy that you're here. So let's jump right into it. $48 million. $48 million in closed volume. Can you tell me where that comes from? Maybe like where you sourced your business?
Absolutely. About a third of that comes from my geographic farm. A third of that comes from like past clients and sphere of influence. And the other third comes from a variety of different things: open house, internet lead, team, contributions, stuff like that. But that's basically how it breaks down.
When it comes to your geo farm, can you talk about how many rooftops is in your farm?
Absolutely. It's kind of an interesting story. I do postcard mail out to the entire zip code, which is 4,400 houses. And I did that for a year, Andy, and got zero response. Sent a postcard every month, zero. Then I decided I needed to kind of hyper-focus that and drill down and get out there and door knock and meet the people in the farm. So I decided to hit half the farm by doing like yard sale events and book drives and getting out and knocking on their door and meeting them. So fast forward, today I have a 25% market share in the 2,000 houses that I've gone out and door knocked. The interesting thing, Andy, is I still mail postcards to the entire zip code, but all the business has come from the area that I've made a personal connection with people. And I kind of looked at it, instead of farming, I'm going to go out and just make relationships with as many people in my neighborhood as possible. And that was a shift, I think, in my geographic approach.
That's awesome. So if I understand you correctly, it's more relational than it is.
Very much so. Yeah, very, very much so.
I talk to agents about that all the time. It seems like oftentimes you find agents and they're just trying to make a quick buck. That's it. But if you create a relationship, there's a lot more there.
Totally, and I wonder the belief, and bless you, that we're kind of running two game plans at any given time. One is what I call the short game, and that's for the now business. That's like an expired, that's a for sale by owner, that's an open house lead or an internet lead. And the second, is the long game, which is building relationships with people who don't need to buy or sell real estate today. Right. But if you have a relationship with those people, the day they're ready or the day they meet somebody that they can refer to you, they will.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's interesting because I remember years ago, you and I would talk every morning at 6 a.m. And I think at that time, you had something like 60 or 70 active REO listings.
Yeah.
And you would say, I want to transition. I want to transition back to retail. I want to do more retail.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you were stressing over it, but it was something that you really wanted to make happen. And look at this, years later, that's not bad.
I thank you for reminding me about that, because I was an REO agent when we had the bust, and everything changes in real estate. The only thing consistent is change, right? So I had to redefine myself as REO ended, and geographic farming is one of the pillars that I implemented.
Nice. That's awesome. So when you talk about your past clients, what do you do to stay in contact with your past clients? How do you work your database?
Good question. I include sphere of influence in my past clients. So obviously there's the people who have transacted with me, and then there's the people who maybe they've never transacted with me, but they've referred somebody to me. So I consider those in the same realm. And we have a very robust email system. We have about 11,000 emails that go out every week. But for the people that I'm closer to, we actually have them over for dinner. So once a month, we invite a few sphere of influence. It's actually 5 couples to the house, and my wife makes dinner, and we just connect with them on a really social, personal level.
That's great. So you'd say those people that you bring over to the house, would you call those, well, I used to call them my advocates. Those are those core people that you do business with, or without even asking, they're sending you referrals.
Totally. Totally.
You know, it's interesting. Last year was the first year that I literally did no prospecting, and all of my business came from my database. And that's just years of taking care of the database, years and years. And I constantly coach agents and say the same thing: well, you got to build the database. And you know, it was quite a bit came from it. You know what I mean? So it worked out.
Yeah. And you were a big prospector, especially with expireds. Am I right about that?
Right, right. Made a living on it for many, many years, up until maybe 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah. But from that prospecting, built the database. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
constantly staying in contact with them. And quite frankly, I think sometimes I even abuse my database. But
How so?
well, you know, I think when you're not staying in contact with them, when you don't send them something every 4 to 6 weeks, when you're not sending them, you know, a Christmas card, I think that's abuse. Because these people, you know, once I dialed it in, just take a look at it. I made
Right.
$100, several $100,000 in commissions in one
Right.
year. So it's
You're
worth
gonna love you're gonna love this, Andy. One of the things that we do during the holidays is my wife and I bake 240 loaves of pumpkin bread,
it.
and I give those out to my past clients, Sphere of Influence, and they're in these really cool little bags. And it takes me several days
Right.
to just go out, knock on the door, say hello, wish them a happy holiday, give them some home baked bread, and they flip out and they love it. And it's been a really cool way to connect with people in the holidays.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I, to this day, feel that the database, for me, is most important. You know what I mean? There's definitely all these different lead generating sources, but you got to put them somewhere. I call it the monster. You're supposed to feed the monster every day. You
Yeah.
know, and it becomes. I think I heard someone years ago say that their whole goal was to prospect for maybe 3, 4, 5 years and then live off of the database. And it really
There you
makes
go.
a lot of sense. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If you're talking to an agent that's a newer agent, let's say if you're talking to someone that's trying to get their business going again, let's talk mindset. What would you suggest? What should someone be thinking about? What do you see or think is the best way for a guy to really get their game up and going if they want to do more farming, if they want to build their database?
You know, I think they have to realize that it's going to take time. It's going to take 6 months, and give it 6 months before you're really seeing a return on anything. You might go out there, door knock one day, get a great lead, and get a listing in your first week. That might happen,
Right.
but don't bank on it, you know? And realize that people might not need you today, but building a relationship with that person, it can still be one of the most important relationships you make all week.
Absolutely.
Because months from now, that person might refer you to somebody or might need your assistance then.
Absolutely.
And stay positive, you know. Don't let the idea. I think people, for example, they don't want to go prospect. They don't want to make calls because they realize most of the calls they make aren't going to result in anything. Most of the houses you knock on are not going to result in anything. So I think there's this belief that, well, if so much of my effort isn't going to result in something, why bother? But we fail to remember that when it does work, the numbers are big. You know, we make a large amount when we sell a house. If this was easy, we'd make $20 a house.
Right.
And
Right.
it's not easy. That's why we don't make $20 a house. So
Absolutely.
keep positive about that.
Absolutely. So, do you use a team? Do you have a large team, small team? Do you have an assistant, a couple of assistants? What does that look like?
Yeah, I have two admin, and I have a team of 7 realtors, all in various stages. 3 of them make 6 figures. 3 of them are just getting started, and 1 is just building up as well. So they're all in various stages of production, and they all have their own area. So then they're all door knocking geographic farmers. So they all have an area of 1,000 houses, and the goal is how many people in this geographic farm of 1,000 houses can we make our friends? That's our goal. Go out and make friends with those 1,000 people.
That's awesome. And the two admin, what do they do as TC, or is it what?
I guess if you count my TC, that's 3 admins. We do have a TC, just works on files. And then we have a person who does all of our marketing, all of our files, handles all marketing, handles our website. Our website's pretty robust. We have a curator website. And, you know, websites are one of those things where unless you're feeding it, unless you're really working on it, it can become stagnant and not very effective. We do a lot of online advertising. We do a lot of lead generating on Facebook and Google. And all that stuff takes management to keep that website working, okay? The website, by the way, is thinkrealestategroup.com. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. But it takes a lot of effort. And the other person we have is 3-day-a-week admin person who also is a videographer. And he does all our video. So we're all about community videos, interview videos, kind of like this, and just getting out to know people. During the election here in Glendale, I video interviewed all 6 of the candidates for city council, okay? People loved that. You know, people in my neighborhood dug that, and that was a really important way to connect with people. I believe in connecting with your database in a non-real estate way as well. You know, don't make it all houses, just listed, just sold.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So if we were to talk tools, tools for agents that, well, let's put it this way, tools that you use that help you run your business. Give us a couple of key tools that you use. Maybe something that you use for your database, maybe something that you use for something that happens substantial in your business.
Right. I think your database is one of your primary tools, and we use Follow Up Boss for that. Our second most important tool would be our website, which is a curator website. It's connected with Follow Up Boss. MailChimp, I think, is a really easy, cheap tool. We send out about 11,000 emails a week through MailChimp. And it's really great to see those open rates and see that people are getting your message. So I think I would recommend to any agent, get a MailChimp account every single week, send out an email. It doesn't have to be about real estate, but you're connecting with people and you're able to see the results on the open rates.
So that's where I was going to go next. When we talk about sending out 11,000 emails every single week, what's the content like? I think that's what a lot of agents struggle with. What to put in those emails that's relevant.
Totally. Our email is kind of like a newsletter, and it starts off with a, I think I can almost show it to you, because it goes out on Fridays. Our email, like this week's email, it is 7 great places to get soup in the neighborhood, or in our area, in Los Angeles. These are restaurants that have like killer soup, right? So that's totally non-real estate. And then right after that is a video of me. It's called Something to Think About. It's a 1-minute long video explaining something about real estate, like what is the difference between down payment and a deposit, you know, what is escrow, just any terminology that we might take for granted, but defining it in a minute. It's only a minute long. And then after that will be like a coming soon property. We're very big on coming soon. So if we have a listing, the first couple of weeks of that, we're marketing it as a coming soon property and inviting people to buy it before it hits the MLS. And then after that will be our active inventory and pending inventory. So it's meant to be informative no matter what you might be interested in, non-real estate and real estate.
Got it. Love it. Love it. So here's a good question. 2019, what are your initiatives? But first, what are your numbers? What are you shooting for? What are your goals for 2019?
2019. I would love to do 70 million 2019.
Okay.
That'd be a big goal. We could do another 22 million. I think it's possible. So that's our number goal.
Is that about transactions?
Say it again.
Is that about 60 transactions?
Probably be about 65. Yeah. We're running about $1.1 million average.
Got it. Good number. Good number. What about any other initiatives that you want to enforce or that you want to put in place this year?
Got it. We try not to spread ourselves too thin. Like our team works geographic farm, the internet leads that we create from Facebook, and open houses, okay? And of course, Sphere and Past Client. I'd like them, and we're all starting non-owner occupied. So we each have a farm, so we're taking pictures of all the homes that are non-owner occupied, and we're gonna send those pictures to the owners of the house in a letter saying, hey, thought you'd like to see your home. This is what it looked like last week, you know, and just informing those people about the value of their home. But that's an initiative that's office-wide that our entire team is going to be doing with our farms.
Very, very cool. So, one last question.
Sure.
Can you give any like your favorite tip that you give a young agent, somebody trying to grow their business?
Say it one more time.
Any kind of tip for an agent, let's say a newer agent just getting into the business, going back to that?
I would say be consistent, hyper consistent about a few things. Try not to be a master of 20 different lead generating systems. Pick 2 or 3 and do them every freaking day. If you're going to go out there and door knock, go door knock 2 hours every single day. You will be blown away by the result in a couple of months if you door knock every single day. If you want to hold an open house, you want to do open houses, find a vacant house, hold that house open every single day for 3 weeks, every day. Who says you can't do an open house on a Wednesday from 2 to 4? Okay, there's no wrong time to meet a client. They don't care if it's not a Sunday. They're just there to check out a house. But do something like that every single time. You want to work expireds? Call expireds every single day. But don't be one of those people who does something occasionally and then every few weeks you get back to it.
Very, very good. Very cool. Dave, you are a rock star. I'm glad that we're friends. Known you a long time. I'm very happy for your success, my friend.
Thank you, Andy. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You're one of my favorite people in this business, and I wish if more realtors were like you, this would be an even greater business. Thank you, my friend.
I appreciate that. So this is EliteAgentSuccess.com. Again, that's Dave Robles. He's in the Los Angeles area. Think real estate, an absolute awesome rock star real estate agent. This blog is all about helping agents grow their business, and this is a gentleman that's definitely contributing. Thanks a lot, Dave. See you guys next time.
Take care, Andy. Bye-bye.